MICAH Beats activated.
Welcome to Just Therapy, where we talk about life with a comedy twist. With your hosts, comedian Sean Boyd, Antonio Ferguson, and Miss KT. We talk about a whole bunch of shit from politics to people actually taking shits. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the therapy session. Man, this be dope. Make a motherfucker want to rap. I can't rap, man. Hold on, here we go. I can't rap. I really can't. But come sit down on the couch with us. Man, I can't rap. Come to the couch. Enjoy the show. Let's go. Just another day on the couch, talking about all the problems of today. Woo! Welcome back to another episode of Just Therapy. It is another beautiful Monday evening, y'all, and we hope your Monday work day was smooth, but you already know we here to end your work Monday day off right. I'm your host, comedian Sean Boyd, and I am joined by my co-host with the most, is feeling better, back in the building, Miss BBC. What up, sis?
Greetings. Hello, everybody. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm doing good. I'm glad you're back. Glad you're feeling better. Missed you last week, you know.
Yes. It's been crazy.
I ain't nobody had nobody to pick on and shit, you know.
I know. It's so good not to be picked on for a week.
You know you missed it. Quit lying. Oh, man. You already know, Couchers. Thanks for tuning in. As always, we appreciate y'all. Still celebrating 3 years on the couch. So thank you for joining us this beautiful Monday evening. It was a gorgeous day outside today, y'all. I can't complain.
It truly was.
Shit. All right, let's get into it. You already know, big shout out to last week's guest, comedian Nathan Timmel. Listen, that's a funny dude, family. Check him out. Check out the episode. It was definitely a very interesting episode. Check it out on Spotify or rewatch it on the page. Either way, however you figure you want to do it.
Yeah, he was really good at interview.
It was good. Good interview too. Yeah, good. It was real good. Big shout out to me, though. I am officially certified as a prevention specialist. I got my OCPSA in the building. Crazy part about it, my shit was already done. I was just waiting on the state to, quit dragging their feet and shit.
That's how it usually works.
But it is official. So I still was able to do what I do, but now I am officially certified in that field. So all right, y'all already know we got another hot guest for this evening. Miss B,
yes.
Do the honors. Go ahead.
Yes. We got to bring in my sis, my reggae sis. She's a reggae artist and songwriter. She's producer. She is a messenger to the uprising of just being who you are, staying strong, standing in your power. I want to introduce y'all to Jahtamarie. Yes.
Hey. Hi, everybody. Thank you for bringing me on.
Yes.
It's my first time here. I've never done it this way before. I've never done my interviews this way before.
Right.
So this is a first.
Well, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you coming to the couch. Definitely welcomed you in. I appreciate you. All right. So let's get right into it. So Miss BBC just said,
happy to be here.
Nice. She just said reggae artist, songwriter, all that good stuff. So let me ask you, what motivated you to actually get into music?
My grandparents took me to church as a child. And one day I was singing along with the choir, and all of a sudden it just started coming out. I think maybe I was around 8 or 9 years old, and it just came out in church. And ever since then, they would put me in choirs, they would make me lead singer of this and that, and I just grew up doing it. I was in talent contests in high school. I was in the high school choir, rhythm teams, all the way up, and it was just a part of me, and that's just how it's always been.
Nice. Nice. I like that. So I see you mentioned, choirs in church, right? So what made you actually get into reggae per se?
Well, besides the fact that I'm a born Jamaican, I love reggae, and um, there's so many there's so many ins and outs to reggae. When you say the word reggae, there's so much to it because you have reggae dance hall, you
Mhm.
have reggae conscious music, you have calypso, soca. There's so many different types.
Okay. And
So I just it's just a part of my culture. And when I started to write music, what I began to realize is that my spirit is more in tune with conscious music,
Mhm.
or with lovers rock. um I didn't lean towards the dance hall type of music, um like artists like, not that there's anything wrong with dancehall artists, but like I'm not a Spice, right?
Okay.
I'm more of a conscious type of singer, more like Janine. I don't know if you've ever heard of Janine, but like I'm more on the side of Janine when it comes to reggae. Or if I'm gonna sing like R&B or cover version, it would be something from Lauryn Hill. I'm
Oh,
more that type of singer.
nice. Nice. Like to hear that. Like to hear that. Okay. So when did you originally start your reggae journey? Like what year? How many
Oh
years has it been
boy.
in the journey?
Oh my goodness. As long as I've known Miss BBC, uh, that's how we ended up meeting. Like, yeah, that's how we got together.
It's
Because
true.
when I started, this was back in 2009.
Yes.
I just started writing, and Miss BBC, we were actually, this is how it all started, right? I went to Carouge Park in Cleveland, Ohio. There was some function going on at Carouge Park for Jamaicans. And we go there every year. And I ended up meeting Junior Blessington. And when
Hmm.
I saw, because I already knew Junior, but I hadn't seen him in a long time. So when I saw him, he introduced me to this gentleman who was a producer. And so I went to the studio of this producer that was on Junior's property. And so therefore that's how everything got started. And then I started writing and recording at the
Hmm.
studio. And Miss BBC was used to do promoting, and like when artists would come in town, she would be the ones like to do their interviews and stuff. And I remember BBC during the interview with Romaine Virgo. Remember that? How many years ago was
Yes.
that?
Oh my God, 2009 or 10. Yes.
Yes, that's when I started my music career.
Nice,
Yep.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
So I know you said Lauren Hill, more of the conscious vibe. So what made you go the conscious vibe instead of like the dance hall vibe or any other vibe? Like what was the root of the
I
consciousness?
I have a love for dancehall. I have a love for calypso. I have a love for all the different um entities of reggae itself. But
Mm-hmm.
my spirit, my inner self is when I write, when I sing, when my voice, when I hear my voice, it's all surrounding that type of music. It's like it just end up coming out that way.
Right. Okay.
Definitely connected. Because when we like, I knew
Yeah.
her from the dance hall scene. Her and her sisters,
Yeah.
they
I
were
used
the
to be
Blase crew.
I used to be in a crew with my sisters, the
Yeah,
Blase crew. You remember that?
the Blase crew, and they would turn up. They would tear the dance floor up. And
We got an award for, you know, they gave us an award for that because they had a ceremony at the ballroom for
mhm,
us and gave
mhm.
us some award
Yeah, I think it was the Chatbot Award, wasn't it?
it was
Chatbot.
for the best crew of the year.
Yeah, yeah. So like, but we never knew each other like
Yes,
personally, and then we were in the studio and we clicked.
until un- yes, until I met up with Junior Blessington that day
Mhm,
at the park. It was that was what set everything off from then. It was like
mhm.
we used to be in the studio like all day, all night till the
For real.
next day.
And then she was in there doing conscious music, and I actually was doing dance hall. Plus, I was an interviewer. I had my
Yes,
little thing, and I was recording. I was recording my first dance hall song.
Nice. Nice.
yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, remember how I ended up being in the band in Junior Blessington's band,
Yes. Yes.
the Straight Fire band. I was a band member.
Yep. You and Sister Barbara, right? So she also did background
Yes,
singing.
me, Sister Barbara. Who else was it?
And
Yes,
Miss Rosa, was it Miss Rosa?
yes.
Yeah, so it was always a vibes, like, and she just has this powerful harmonizing voice. It's like if you just come in contact with her and you hear it, like,
Drumming my vein with his fingers,
One time.
singing my life with his words,
two times.
killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words.
Yes, yes, yes. Very powerful voice and just a vibe. So I always just appreciated the fact that, it's with women in reggae, it's not easy for women, but she would
And
always feel,
we had a fight, didn't we? We
yeah,
used to have a fight in Cleveland with with us being women trying to rise up in the reggae community in Cleveland, Ohio. We got some serious fights, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I think that's one of the reasons why I ended up moving away and I ended up getting better opportunities um where I am now in Miami than I did in Cleveland. It's a lot more musical opportunities here for musicians in the reggae industry.
yeah,
Um, I want to go back to remember our first performance when we performed and we would go backstage and we would try to motivate each other like we would be
yes.
nervous.
Oh my God. I used to be sick with it. And it was crazy because your nervous is quiet. Like you would just be quiet and like, okay. And I'll be nervous. And even though you were nervous, you'll be like, you got this.
And
We got this.
and your anxiety attacks. I'll be like, okay, calm down.
They're serious. But
I'm like, you're
um,
gonna be okay.
yes. And it was good because motivating each other, me, you, Sister T, Sister Barbara, like just the upliftment when we did the woman
Yeah.
show, and then the fight against cancer. And
The one was that the one for what was that the one for breast cancer
yeah,
that we did for breast cancer?
yeah.
Breast
I
cancer awareness. Yeah, we did that one.
and we did all females, and it was an all female
Yeah,
reggae
I
show.
remember that. We was that
It,
when we had on red, when we wore red that
no, that
night.
was the red dress. That was the red dress. That was fight against heart disease.
That was for the heart.
Yeah,
That was for the heart disease. Yeah, we
yeah,
did that one too. Yeah.
yeah. I heard. I'm actually. I
Wow, we was doing a lot.
Yeah, because that was my event. So I did 10 years of that event. Um,
Wow.
and then when you moved to Florida, it
You
was like
still have the pictures of me on stage from that event too.
I do, I do.
I think you sent me a picture in my red dress when I was singing on stage.
I did. Everybody say I always have all the pictures, but I was glad when you moved to Florida because they say a queen is never crowned in her own town. So when you moved to Florida,
Yeah.
like I'm saying, it just was an uprising, and and your motivation and in your music. But then you started the Marie's Message. Now tell us about
Yeah.
that.
Oh
Tell us
yeah.
about that.
Um, I started that YouTube channel, Marie's Message 411 TV. I started that 2 years ago. And I actually was going through a separation from my husband at the time. I ended up getting COVID at the time. I was sick. I was going through a lot. And when I came out of that, I started to understand what I was experiencing with my husband, and I started to do research. And the more I did research and the more I started to reflect back on me and who I am from the time that I was a child until now, and understanding certain experiences that happened in my life, it's like all of it came to fruition to where it was like an awakening for me. It was like a shift in my vibration that it was like it was like everything was being revealed to me, and I was reflecting all the way back to when I was a child. And I said to myself, okay, I'm alone. I'm in a city where I don't all of my family is up north. I'm here by myself. I'm no longer with my husband, and it's just me now. I'm on my own now. And how can I begin to heal? So I just took my phone and decided to start recording my first YouTube video. And I really didn't know how it was going to turn out or what it was going to be. And my first video, when I started the channel, it was called Purpose Driven. What is your purpose? Do you know what your purpose is? And that was my first video for that channel.
I
And it's
remember.
like I used that channel to enlighten others, to help awaken others, to educate others on my personal experiences that I've had as a teenage mom, as a wife, ex-wife, um, as a spiritual advisor, a mentor. uh it's like the way my channel is, it deals with chosen ones, spirituality, narcissism, empaths. I'm an empath. You will also see things on there about health and wellness, because I am in the medical field and I have been in the medical field for more than 30 years now.
Wow.
So it's like it's a combination of, and I put my music on there, so you will also see videos of me performing live here in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale.
Nice.
You will see videos of me and BBC when she came to visit me, and me and her was singing, and we recorded it because it was
Yeah.
a song that I wrote, and I haven't recorded it yet. And she was like, "Just hit me," and she said, I was like, "Hit me," and I just started singing it.
Yeah.
That's on the channel too. But yeah, it's like it's therapy for me to help others. There was a time in my life when I couldn't talk about things that happened to me without crying or without feeling like I want to vomit.
Right.
But I have healed to the point where now I'm getting an understanding of what happened to me,
Mm.
And
how it
it's helping a
happened,
lot of people.
how
I
to
think
break,
people
how
commenting
to
on you and
break the
everything.
yes, how to break these generational curses that I
Mm-hmm.
realized that was becoming a pattern, and I didn't want it to continue to be a pattern, and I decided that it was going to stop with me.
There
And
you
Yeah.
go.
so this channel is like a I birthed this channel in order to break generational curses, not only in my family and for me and my bloodline, but for all other bloodlines that are watching, that are empaths, that are chosen ones,
Nice.
that are spiritual, that are awakened to what is really going on.
Right. How many
Nice.
episodes have you done so far?
Oh my goodness, I have over 400 videos, and I have about 600 subscribers.
Nice. Nice.
Blessings. That's really, really good. That's good.
Good. That's really good.
And Miss BBC, she's a subscriber. She's always support. Do you know Miss BBC? Ever since we started back in 2009, 2010, she's always been supportive of me. If
Nice.
my crown was if my crown was turned to the side, she was always there to straighten my crown for me.
I
That's
like it.
what
I
I'm
always supported her business, and she always supported mine. She would ship me products
And
and
toys.
scarves and
No.
not toys, but ooh no, no. That's a whole nother podcast, right?
Oh, yo, allow me.
So let me ask you this: who are some of your biggest influencers in the reggae industry?
I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say this. Mr. Bob Nestor Marley is
Okay.
at the top of the list.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
Then
Take the way.
then there's Barris Hammond,
mhm,
um Buju Banton,
mhm,
Mm.
um Egyptian, Sizzler, Capleton, Romain Virgo, Christopher Martin.
mhm.
Um, when you hear the list, you can kind of tell the type of music that I
Yeah.
really like.
No, absolutely.
I'm gonna say this to cover it all. When it comes to 90s reggae,
Mhm.
the music they had, whether it was dancehall or lovers rock or conscious music, the 90s is the all-time best for me. Because no matter what year it is, what century it is, when you play 90s reggae music,
Mhm.
everybody is going to dance and sing, and it's
Very.
like that's
Nice.
it.
Yeah, that's
Nice. Like,
period. Not just even with reggae, with music, period.
yes.
Not the
Yep.
hip
Yes, because even
different.
when I was in school in the 90s, like Babyface and
Mhm.
um um Whitney Houston was one of my favorites growing up. I used to stand in the mirror with my hairbrush and sing Whitney Houston songs.
Mhm.
Indeed. So, I mean,
I
music is just,
believe the children of our future, teach them well and let them lead the way.
yeah, it's
Nice.
I
like you
used
just
to
wanted to
sing in the
be.
mirror. Oh, Anita Baker,
Yeah,
Yes. Oh,
Sade,
yeah.
yes. There you go. Now you speaking my language with Anita Baker and Sade.
Luther Vandross.
If I
Luther,
told you, if I
Big
told
Luther.
you
We talking
now.
about Big Luther.
Patti LaBelle.
Yeah.
Miss Patty, yeah.
Somebody loved you, baby.
Hey, you be
Nice,
singing that all the time too.
I
You
do.
sing that all the
nice.
That's
I
my
like
thing. Everybody, I'm love. So I want to always share love and uprise love.
it.
But I just want
Absolutely.
to say that I'm so proud of you. And, you know,
Well,
I
thank
know
you.
it's
I'm
not
proud of you too,
easy.
Queen.
Thank you. It's not easy when you're telling your story and especially when you're trying to uplift others during your healing and doing a healing
Yes.
process. People will never get it. They'll never understand. And one thing I love about us, we don't care if we get one like or 100 likes. It's never about that. It's about being who we are as spiritual leaders, as women of the universe. We are the mothers no matter what, with children, without children. And we always look to uprise the next person, not just woman, not just man, person, human being. And
I
just
second
giving
that.
love
I
no matter
second that.
what.
And when you and what I'm learning right now is that the higher you elevate, the higher your vibrational frequency, the lonelier you can become. If
No,
you
for
don't have
real.
self-love, if you
Yeah.
don't have self-love and you are not walking in your purpose and you're not
Mm-hmm.
busy every day chasing your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
you will easily get lonely when you get to a certain elevation.
No,
If
for
you
real.
ever look at the eagle, you ever see the eagle flying low with the rest of the birds?
No.
The eagle is always up above everybody else in a higher altitude.
Yeah.
Nice. Like that. So let me ask you this. What's next for you? Like any albums coming up, any new videos coming up? So what's next for you?
Um, I have taken a break from music at this time.
Okay.
There are times that I go through, there are lapses that I go through in my journey in my life where I have writer's block and I don't really write or I won't I will stop performing, I will stop recording. I will just it's like my life will take a turn in a different direction because there's other things that need my immediate attention at the time. And
Okay.
so I
Mm,
can't put my full focus in it like I want to. But I must tell you, every time that I go through a cycle in my journey like this, where I put down the pen and paper and I'm having writer's block, when I come out of whatever this this um this trying time is, I always seem to be able to pick up the pen and paper and be able to write a song. So every time I come out of something that's I've been struggling with and something that I need to learn a lesson from, when I come out of it, I start to write and I start to sing again and I go back into the studio and I go performing again. That's
yeah.
how my music is created.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I have 3 songs right now that I wrote since I've been in Miami that I haven't recorded yet, and
Well,
BBC heard one of them.
well, you better
When
get
it's
on
time,
I
that.
it's time.
performed them in Miami. I performed them in Fort Lauderdale, but I've never recorded them
Okay. All right. So you better get on that. You got to keep going in your purpose now.
yet.
Don't be stagnant now. You know
Yeah.
that.
Reggae timing is everything. So when the time
I
is,
get
when
you.
it's supposed to happen,
Get
trust me,
out.
she's
Right.
gonna bust
I got
it.
you. All right.
When it comes to my channel, though, Marie's Message 411 TV, my goal for that channel is if I can get 1,000 subscribers, then I can start doing my shows live instead of having to tape them and then upload them to YouTube.
There you
Yeah.
go. Okay. All
We're
right.
gonna help you out with that. I'm gonna make sure I can post it as much in all the groups and
I'm at
try to get more
600
people.
right now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's gonna happen.
So give our cultures all your social medias where they can find you as far as your YouTube and your Facebook.
You can find me on Facebook. It's Anne Marie, ANN hyphen MARIE, last name Vernon, VERNON. That's how you find me on Facebook.
Okay.
On Instagram, it's Jahtamarie 6, JAHTAMARIE, and put the 6 right up next to it. Don't separate the 6 from Jahtamarie. It's Jahtamarie 6. That's on Instagram. You can also find me at Jahtamarie on TikTok. And on YouTube, you can find Marie's Message 411 TV.
Okay.
That's how you find me on YouTube.
All right.
Blessings.
Well, thank you so much for coming
my
on.
email address is annemarie.vernon@yahoo.com.
Hey, there you go. Give out all that info. There you go. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us and taking this interview. We appreciate you coming to the couch.
I appreciate you for welcoming me, for inviting me. It's wonderful being able to talk with you guys. Like, I have so much more that I want to share, but those are totally different topics. It's like I kind of hinted to a lot of it when I was talking, like with my childhood and stuff, but we'd have to do that in another podcast.
Yeah, we'll invite you back on. Definitely. We like it. You're a good interviewee.
Absolutely. All right, so let's keep it moving. We always like to start with a recap on what happened to us this weekend. I'll go ahead and start. So little mama's on spring break this week, so I dropped her off Thursday so she can spend a little more time with her mom.
Okay.
So she gone. But so right after I dropped her off, I went down to Columbus for the kickoff tournament of softball season, where I umpire if I ain't got no shows. So it was the biggest. It's always the biggest event of the year beginning softball season. We had teams from Canada, Florida, Arizona, like teams from all over come up to Columbus, Ohio to play softball. And, I always go down there and umpire. So I ended up doing 19 games from Thursday to Saturday, which was
that's a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. I told them you got to figure out the better scheduling, because on Friday I opened the park and closed the park. And I'm like, you got to do better than that. Like, I was literally there I was there 14, 15 hours from 8 a.m.
Wow.
Was my first game, and 8 p.m., 8:45 was my last game. I didn't get out of there until 10. So I was there for like 14, almost 16 hours for the whole day. But I seen a lot of great softball, met a lot of good people. It was like it was the perfect umpiring weekend, because I barely had any, complaints or any bullshit happen, which is always great, because my job is just to keep the game moving and call strikes, balls, and outs. I'm not there to affect the outcome of the game or anything like that.
So let me ask, these were different teams that was playing?
Yes. Literally from men's to women's. So there's different divisions for men's and women's. The lowest division for men is E, same with women, and it goes all the way up to B. So like every division is just better competition. So Thursday.
Is this high school?
No, it's a grown adult softball.
Oh, adult. Okay.
Yep. So the E is, usually you get the most, shit talking and people that, complain the most, because they are the lowest league, which they're not as good as, the upper leagues. But I had really smooth games the entire weekend, which is always good. And I know a lot of people in the softball community. So, because some people came and hung out, said, hey, and, I got to ump some people I know. And the compliments was always good. And just some of the teams that I, because like I talk and I'm an umpire. So I'm back there talking. Like I'm about to have fun with y'all. I'm not about to be up there stiff. And it was cold as hell. So
right.
Hey, turn that music up so I can, dance a little bit so I can keep warm, but it was fun. It was a good time, and I made it back yesterday. On my way back, I stopped at the outlet store, Tanger outlet, which is a nice, beautiful outlet, and came out because, they got some good prices with some good stuff there. So that was cool. So that was pretty much my weekend, and then back to work. And that was it. So that was my weekend.
Nice.
Miss BBC, how was your weekend?
My weekend was very busy. I was preparing for an event that was happening Saturday from the Vault. It was a fitness. It was called Black March Madness, and they got all black workout trainers and stuff from like different states.
Okay.
Dancer, dance trainers, workout trainers, weightlifting trainers.
Nice.
From different states, and they came out and they had vendors there, whatever. So I was prepping to set up because I haven't set up at an event since like last year. And I had just really just closed down my store for a second so I can get back, to the group or whatever. So I was making items and creating and shea butters and oils and everything like that, like through the week. And then for Friday, I just had to put everything together, make sure everything was set up, make sure I steamed all of my clothes, everything like that. And Saturday we had to be there at 12:45, but I got there at 11 because I was going to get a front door parking space, and I wanted to get my station set up where I wanted to be set up at. So
absolutely.
I got there early, but one of the classes had went over. But I stood at the door. I brought my stuff in, and they were like, "Oh, okay, well, you gotta wait." And I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna do that because if somebody get my space, I'm gonna be mad." And I told the girl that I work out with, because I weight train. So I was like, "I'm gonna hold a place for you," because when we buy each other, she like being, next to me, because she was like, I always be like, "Okay, make sure you check out her table too." And I'm always like that, like, okay, make sure you check out this person, especially if I use these people products before and I know that they're good. I'm gonna, that's just my personality.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So while we're there, I had this little outfit. I'm like, I'm gonna try to rock this outfit that I want to sell. Well, the pants, because I have a lot of derriere, kept falling down. So I couldn't wear out like I wanted to, and it was irritating me. So I'm like, somebody got a rubber band, and I just went old school, like when you were a kid, and pull your pants down and tie it up. But it was so amazing because it was plus size trainers and dancers, and they were doing stuff, and everybody really came out to work out, and it was such a good vibes.
Nice.
And seeing different levels of people and different, people that identified as who they were, but they still just like everybody supported everybody. And Mike Berry, Mike Berry, right?
I do not.
Okay, Mike Berry, he's a motivational speaker, but he's also a movie director and writer and producer.
Oh, nice.
Here in Cleveland. He's very big. He came and gave a message about being who you are, walking in your purpose. And he was like, look, I suffer from depression, and I have suffered from it from all these years. He said, I actually went into a mental depression this morning. I wasn't going to come. And that's how I felt. And when he was speaking, like he has a powerful, like, E.T., the motivational speaker. He's like a reverend doctor speaker. He was like, boom, he speaks like that. And he was just giving the energy. But I was vibing off of it because I'm like, I literally had a panic attack. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go. I should send my daughter. I'm going to lose this money for my station. I was just going through a whole vibes. And when he spoke, it just gave so much power that people don't realize that men could go through depression too, because men are supposed to be something, but men do go through it. However, he's speaking with everybody. Walk in your purpose. Don't let nothing stop you, even if you get depressed. And that kind of motivated me more. But then Sunday came. I was so sore because my trainer, I weight train, she put me on the hip thruster thing, and you got to like lay back and they strap you in. It's like, I don't know what it's like a monster. And you got to thrust your hips up and down. And she like, okay, do 100. I said, what? So did that. Yeah. And so I did that. Mind you, we had like 500 squats. So, and then I was so sore, I made myself stay in the bed all day Sunday, made dinner, and then I couldn't get up. My body was so sore from laying down all day. After working out like that, I couldn't walk. I
bet
couldn't
you
do.
were sore.
Oh my God. It was the worst thing I could have done. Laid in that
Gotta
bed
get up
all
and move.
day.
That sounds
Gotta
like
get
military training.
Right. That's what we got. We should do military training and then not moving all day. So yeah. Then I had to get up this morning and I didn't want to go to work. I mean, I didn't want to Uber or nothing. I got out here about 7 o'clock. I didn't take my first ride until 10.
Mm. Okay.
So that was my whole vibes.
Nice. Marie, how was your weekend?
Well, my weekend, I was packing, I was bringing stuff to the Goodwill, and I worked this weekend. That's
Okay.
just about it.
Okay.
I'm moving, so
Oh,
I'm trying to move from where I am. So I'm in the
okay.
process of packing and getting rid of stuff. Um, I
Moving
had to
process.
get rid of my fish tank, which I really didn't want to get rid of, but where I'm going, I can't bring my fish tank with me. I
Hmm.
had a
Well,
36-gallon fish tank,
Oh
and
wow.
I had three fish in there that they were like this big. And yeah, so the pet store came. At first I didn't know what I was going to do with my fish in my fish tank, and then I went to the pet store and left a message saying anybody want a free fish tank and fish. And the person from the pet store called, and he came, he helped me get them out, and another gentleman drove an hour and a half from another town to
Right.
come and get the fish tank because he
Nice.
liked the fish tank. It wasn't a square fish tank.
Okay.
It's a half moon fish tank.
Oh
It's
wow.
very fancy, but yeah.
Nice.
And
Okay.
my fish I had some big Oscars. They're big, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that's how my weekend was. I'm packing and working.
Okay. Hey, sometimes we got to get it done, right? Got to make it happen, right?
Yeah,
All right.
right.
All right, let's get into childhood memories. We always like for our couchers to get into our past, even though they know a whole bunch about me, but we like them to get into our guest past as well. So we always do one childhood memory. My childhood memory this week is going to be about the creek that we grew up in. So in my neighborhood, when because I moved from Cleveland to Bedford Heights, like my parents moved us out there, and there was a creek. Tinker's Creek was literally like in our park, and we used to, go down to Tinker's Creek, and at this one point where we had like the whole kind of like our whole little clique of neighborhood kids. It was like the Hill brothers, me and my brother, a couple other people. So it was a good 7 or 8 of us walking through the creek, having some fun, skipping rocks. And we got to Tinker's Creek where we were about to walk along inside the creek and go to the other side. And the stream was kind of going pretty fast at that time. And so I remember where, like, we called them our OGs, my big brother and their oldest brother, had to like help us over to the other side or whatever. But we had found these rocks. Like, granted, it was summertime and we're out there for hours, like 3-4 hours. And we had found these rocks that we assumed that it made us stop cussing. Okay, because like as kids, you're in the creek, you would buy your little spears, and we cussing up a storm or
It
whatever.
sounds
But
like when we used to go to Euclid Creek.
so we didn't cuss for at least a good hour and a half. Nobody cussed, nobody said a bad word or anything for at least an hour and a half. So we were convinced these rocks had us stop cussing until lo and behold, one of the brothers, one of the Hills, had said a cuss word, and we all got pissed and started cussing him out because he cussed because rocks made us stop cussing, and he broke it up and messed it up. But just thinking about that, it made me laugh because we were dead serious on we thought these rocks had stopped making us cuss, and we believed it until one of the kids cussed, and we got pissed off and cussed him out, and we was all cussing. But so it was just funny, like just some of the good times we had going through the creek and just being kids and not having a care in the world. So that is my childhood memory for this week.
Nice.
DP,
Don't start. I'll give you a good one.
you got a childhood memory for us. What's your childhood memory this week?
My childhood memory. Okay, so remember back in the day when they used to have the jelly shoes. Remember the jellies? Like they were really cute shoes with the little design or whatever. So and I know I told a shoe one last week, but this one was cute because I wanted some of them shoes so bad. And my aunt used to always like, we used to always go over her house or whatever. So she would buy her daughter stuff and she bought me some jelly shoes. And I used to like, and I don't know why, but the steam, the manhole where the steam come up out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but for some reason I used to like to play on there because you jump on one, it won't come out like, or whatever like that. Now, of course, with some Buster Browns or whatever like that, you could do that, and not get burned or, get messed up. However, I'm not thinking that these jelly is not gonna hold up. So, oh my God, I'm over there. And I used to just do a lot of stuff by myself because my brothers and sisters were so much older than me. I was the baby. So if it wasn't nobody over or none of my friends was out, I'd just be outside just doing whatever. So I'm on there and I'm jumping on it. And I'm playing some game. I can't even remember, but I'm like, you can't come out. And the steam ended up blowing up in there and melting the shoe. Oh my God. I'm screaming because it burned me so bad, but I'm not realizing that it don't melt it the whole half of the shoe, like on the sides.
Wow.
And I'm screaming.
Wow.
So my sister, she come out the window and everything. Everybody like, what's wrong? The man come, he don't peel the shoe off my foot. Everything. It's crazy. And the only thing I could think of, like, my foot is burned, but I'm just like, my shit.
Yep, your shoes.
I was thinking, like, I loved it. And they were pink and they were so cute. I was so devastated. Like, they like, your foot burned or whatever like that. I did not care about my foot being burnt or whatever. I just really was so devastated about my jelly because I knew my mama wasn't going to buy me no more. So that's story.
I didn't know the steam was that hot where the burns. Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought either, but evidently the plastic must have been like bubble gum, because I played it all the time.
Right.
Yeah, it was hot. Like my skin didn't burn off, but it was just red. Like my foot was red, but it definitely burnt the damn shoe up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marie, give us a childhood memory.
Which one should I give you? I have a lot of them, by the way.
Give a funny one.
I would hope so.
Migrating to the United States from Jamaica as a child.
That is a good one.
So I've never been on a plane before, right? And at this age, I'm about maybe 9, 10, 11. Never seen snow before. Never been cold in my life. So I come to this place, right? And I have on a little shorts and a t-shirt. And we land, this plane land, and I'm looking out the window and it's nothing but white stuff everywhere. So I asked my aunt, I'm like, what is that out there? Like, but I'm talking in my patois. I'm not talking English at this time because I don't speak a lick of English at this time. It's all patois, right? Everything is new to me. And so my aunt is telling me that that's snow. And when we get off the plane, I'm freezing and they're giving me a little jacket to put on. I'm like to myself, I'm around all it. Can you imagine a little girl in the airport, all around all these different people moving fast, everything moving fast. You see big giant planes that have wings and they fly like bird in the sky, and everybody speaking a totally different language. There's no leaves on the trees. There's no fruits, no vegetables, nowhere.
Right.
and that was a total culture shock for me.
Yeah.
And my
Absolutely.
mother was like, "You'll get used to it." I am 51 years old and I have been in Cleveland, Ohio for more than 30 years of my life. And I must tell you, the day when I landed in that snow, I hated my mother for it and I still hate her for it. I do not like cold weather and I don't want to be cold. That's why I moved to Miami.
Like, look at country girl, damn. No, what happened?
Oh man, hey, that's funny.
Oh
That's
my God.
devastating.
And it's
Devastating.
that's how everybody feel. Everybody, all the cousins and them like, yo, they're
I
like,
wanted
yo.
to go back home. I said, I want to go back home.
Yeah, I'm like, it's chilly. They be like, yo, it's freezing. People say, what's wrong with you?
Absolutely, that's funny.
But
All
Yeah.
right,
at
let's
that
get
age, I
to
used to tell me want to go back on my yard.
it. Oh man. All right, let's get into one of my favorite topics, flowers while they're still here. So we like to give people flowers while they're still here instead of being conditioned like so many of us are to give people flowers while they're dead and gone. So we like to give people flowers so they can smell those roses.
Yeah.
My flowers this week is going to go to my old manager at my new job. Not new job, it ain't new no more, but my old manager at my job, Renee.
Yay.
So I got to give flowers to Renee because like she actually helped me so much transitioning into this new position and a new job that I am in now. But it's like I said, it's not new anymore. But she literally like epitomized the perfect example of how you present to kids about mental health and suicide prevention.
Nice.
She literally like showed me the ropes, told me what I needed to do, and then I just took it and made it my own. But I presented so much like her because she was, animated and hyper, and um,
Yeah.
she was good at what she did, and
Bless
she
her.
was definitely a good manager. Even after she left, she was still she was still there to answer questions for me whenever I had them. And when it was time to get certified, I was like, hey, can you help me with this and fill this out? And she was like, do you got all of the certificates, all the classes you took? And I was like, yeah. She was like, send them to me or drop them off and I'll do it. Cause she was like, I like doing this part. And I'm like, for real? And she like, yeah, I'll take care of it. So I literally drove down to her new job and gave her my certificates. And she filled out everything that I needed in order to send it off to the state of Ohio and help me get certified. Like everything was done. I did it all, but she
I
did
love
the
it.
outs and the paperwork for me. And that really, really helped me out.
She put the seal on it.
She literally put the seal on it and helped me out so much in that aspect because I didn't want to do it. I just wanted some help with it, but she went ahead and took care of it. So just for her being the person that she is, and I definitely miss her as being the manager of the department I'm in, she deserves flowers. So Renee, you getting your flowers today.
Blessings
Yay,
to you.
Renee.
All right, BBC, what group you giving flowers to, or is it individual today?
Actually, I'm going to give flowers to you and Jahtamarie today. I love sharing this moment
Oh,
with
I
y'all.
feel so special.
Yes, yes. So and I'm so proud of you, and you got your certificate today. So we're
Mwah,
celebrating and
mwah,
celebrating 3 years.
mwah. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. So my flowers go
I
to both of you.
appreciate you.
You, of course. Blessings to you, my love.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, BBC. All right, Marie, who would you like to give your flowers to today?
I would like to give my flowers to my beautiful BBC.
Oh my God.
I've been I give her flowers in my own way. When we get
Absolutely.
together and we have our little girl conversations, I give her,
Mhm.
my flowers and I straighten her crown out when it get kind of crooked.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Blessings.
well
I'm so grateful.
deserved, BBC. Well deserved. Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. I think this is a perfect time to take our one and only sponsor break. Hey, listen, y'all. Don't go nowhere. We got more just there. Listen, we got some hot topics. We got some necessary topics. We're about to get into it. A little serious stuff coming up, but some other stuff that we got to touch on. But y'all know how we do on the couch. But listen, don't go nowhere. More Just Therapy, more Jahtamarie coming up. Don't go nowhere. You already know who I am. I'm your host, comedian Sean Boyd, and I'm taking us to break, baby.
All right. See you in a minute.
Primal Screen in Kent, Ohio. For all your screen printing and embroidery needs. Quality work, on time, fair prices. For more information, call 330-677-1766. Again, 330-677-1766. Or check us out online, primalscreenprinting.com. If you mention a podcast, you get 5% off. Peace.
Custom Design Aquariums, where we bring your aquatic dreams to life. With your help, using your imagination, together, we will turn your home or office into a peaceful getaway. For a free consultation, call 330-475-5181 or contact us by email at customdesignaqua@gmail.com. Once again, that is customdesignaqua@gmail.com. Mention this podcast and get 5% off.
Y'all already know what it is. Another week, another Monday. You already know what I got to talk about. I got the best pizza place for you. Make sure you check it out. Twisted Tomato Pizzeria. They got 3 locations and 1 on the way. First location is in 1909 Bailey Road, Cuyahoga Falls. Their phone number is 330-928-2222. Second location is in downtown Akron, across the street from Rubber Duck Stadium. That address is 325 South Main Street, Akron, Ohio. Their phone number is 330-849-5707. And the third location, which is the newest location, is at 3031 Graham Road, Stowe, Ohio. Their phone number is 330-673-9410. The best part about Twisted Tomato Pizzeria downtown location in Akron has to be the beer wall, hands down, because I like to call it the Dave and Buster's of beer. You go in there, you put money on the card, you walk up to the taps, which is 36 glorious taps of wine, ale, IPAs, lagers, whatever you can think of is on that wall. You take that card, put it up next to the tap, and pour as much beer or wine as your heart desires. I mean, it's just so good. When it hits your lips, it's just so good. Another thing I love about Twisted Tomato Pizzeria has to be that they cater to your taste buds. And everybody always asks me, what do you mean by cater to your taste buds? Exactly what I said. Any specialty order, because I'm a specialty type of guy. I can't do cheese, so I order a cheeseless pizza with extra sauce and all the fixings on that motherfucker, and it be so delicious. I swear, every time I take that first bite of anything from Twisted Tomato Pizzeria, whether it's a salad, a calzone, a pizza, a wrap, it's always bitch, like it's just that delicious, that first bite every single time down. Make sure you check them out. Make sure whenever you order something, you mention that you are a coucher and you listen to Just Therapy, the podcast, to get your 10% discount. I'm telling you, it's always so good, so delicious. Make sure you check out Twisted Tomato Pizzeria. If it's pizza, it's possible. Twisted Tomato Pizzeria. Yes, check them out. All right, got to do some shameless plugs. Y'all already know what it is. It is that week, y'all. It is that week. Listen, go down to Revival of the Mic Poetry Night. Doors open at 6 p.m. Show is from 7 to 10 p.m. every last Thursday of the month with Medusa, Concrete Rose, Ebony Red Soul, Miss West, and so much more. It is at Jilly's Music Room at 111 North Main Street, Akron, Ohio. It always is fire. And don't forget this Thursday, last Thursday of the month. This is the last Thursday of the month. So make sure you go check them out. A revival of the mic, $10 entry fee. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Check them out. Also, you already know what's coming up in May. May 25th, Saturday, May 26th, Sunday. It is Reggae Fest Cleveland. Y'all, make sure y'all go check out the beautiful vibes of the Reggae Fest Cleveland. Listen, our very own Miss BBC will be in the building on May 25th, Saturday, starting off the show at 12 p.m. with a slew of great reggae artists. And then Sunday, May 26th is another slew of great reggae artists. One of the friends of the couch, he was on the show not too long ago, Milton Blake, will be on that lineup. Make sure you check out all the details. Go to reggaefestcleveland.com for more ticket information and times. And go check out the vibes, y'all, because it's Reggae Fest Cleveland. Check it out. And we are back on the couch. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You like Miss BBC? I ain't did it this whole month since when I promoted.
I just saw the is that the 25th, the May 25th Reggae Fest?
May 25th, May 26th, Saturday and Sunday. Yes, Reggae Fest.
Is that the one that I'm supposed to be at, BBC?
Is it?
Yes, I invited her on as a special guest.
Nice. Okay. I'm definitely got to come out that Saturday then.
Definitely.
Nice. I'm gonna have to come check it out. Listen, they gotta go catch the vibes. Miss BBC, you like how I got rid of it the whole month? I ain't said nothing like that.
I've done it. Thank you for not doing that. Thank you. Don't do it. Do it. So, you know what? I'm missing my baby girl coming in, like saying she got to do something or she needs something or whatever. Like I just
or nothing. Yeah, it's odd not having little mama here. You know, I talked to her before we did the podcast. We chopped it up, you know what I'm saying, make sure she was good. You know,
That's right.
she getting to see her sissy, who she loves to death, so she get to hang out with her sister. So that's cool, you know. You know how it goes. Yeah.
Topics. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, let's get into these topics. So the first topic on the docket, y'all, we got to talk about it. I don't know if people heard about this, but it was a deadly crash in Cleveland, Ohio. So basically, Euclid police, 17-year-old boy facing murder charge in case that ended with a crash that killed innocent woman in Cleveland. Michelle Wall, 44, died when her vehicle was struck by what authorities say was a stolen Jeep. Wall's family is now asking for accountability in the case. Euclid Police Chief Scott Meyer has released more information on last Sunday's police chase that began in his city before ending with a crash that killed an innocent woman in Cleveland. Michelle died when her vehicle was struck by what authorities say the stolen Jeep. Her family is now asking for accountability. In a statement released today, Meyer noted that members of Euclid Police Department personally met with Wall's mother and answered her questions about the situation. He also detailed the events that led up to the daily chase. According to Meyer, the Jeep was stolen in Cleveland area Friday, which was actually Euclid, but Friday morning when a group of roughly 10 armed males blocked the vehicle in as an attempt to turn around. Two females were in the car, and one of the suspects put a gun to the driver's head before taking off with the vehicle and the other items. 2 days later, Meyer says the flop camera picked up the stolen Jeep's license plate number near East 222nd Street and North Lake Boulevard in Euclid, with an alert indicated occupants may be armed. An officer then turned on the marked cruiser's lights and the siren when chased ensued, which per Meyer involved only one department car and lasted less than 3 minutes. The pursuit ended with the Jeep slammed into Wall's car around 3 p.m. near the intersection of East 156th Street and Caluda Avenue in Cleveland, injecting Wall from her seat and killing her. Wow. So it was two teens in a stolen vehicle, one 17, one 18. But while the suspect's name was not released, Police say he is a 17-year-old boy from Cleveland who did not have a driver's license. All right. It says, my deepest condolences go out to the family and loved ones of Michelle Wall. Meyer said in a statement she lost her life in yet another senseless act of violence and lawlessness in Calgary County. Her life was taken by a suspect who attempted to evade apprehension by the Euclid police, and the suspect acted selfishly without any regard for the lives and safety of others. Okay, so he is now in detention center and is facing the following charges of murder, aggravated vehicular homicide, felonious assault, failure to comply, aggravated vehicular assault, receiving stolen property, and improperly handling a firearm in a motor vehicle. Did y'all hear about that story?
No,
I've never heard it. This is my first time hearing about it.
So this happened last Sunday, not this past Sunday, but last Sunday. It happened, okay. And the family want answers. A lot of people has been talking about it and discussing it, saying why were they chasing this car to Cleveland? But you got to remember, Euclid is right next to Cleveland, which literally on the freeway is only about 3 to 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
So, yes, it was a police chase. Yes, they chased them. But people are trying to figure out why did they not just call off the police chase, because it was putting other people's lives in danger and things of that nature.
See, it's easy for people to say that, but here's the thing. It just wasn't a stolen car. They had guns to people's head. They carjacked someone. It's 10 of them, or however the thing went. And you know what I'm saying? So this is robbery, assault, everything. They could not.
So the police is under the impression that they have a weapon on them and they're armed and dangerous.
Right.
So it's not just the chase, it's the fact that they had weapons pointed at these people and took their vehicle. So now in their mind, these people are armed and dangerous, and we don't know what they're capable of doing.
So they had to chase them down. If they didn't chase them down, okay, they could have got a helicopter to follow them or whatever like that. But how much time would that have taken? You know what I'm saying? If they would have got away or whatever. And yes, okay, once the police got behind them and they were on it, so people can say everything, and it's like sometimes I find us defending so much of the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, this can't even be blamed on the police. Y'all old enough to know better. Y'all know what y'all doing. All this Kia boy, Kia girl, all this fuckery, all this bullshit.
I tend to disagree. I understand the carelessness of these children. They were under 18, correct? These were teenagers.
Yeah, so the two kids that was driving the car at the time of the fatal crash, one was the 17-year-old was driving, the 18-year-old was riding.
Okay, now we have to understand the frontal cortex of a human being is not fully developed until they are 25 years old.
That's okay.
So until then, some of the things that we do, we're not thinking with our frontal lobe. Keep that in mind. And then you have the carelessness of, okay, where's their parents? Why are they able to be? How did they get weapons at their age? And why? It sounds to me like it might not even be the first time they have done this. If they seem so comfortable to carjack somebody like that,
right?
Cleveland right now.
Go ahead, Miss BBC.
Yeah, it's Cleveland right now. Carjacking is going on, and as parents, and you know this too, we have to work so hard. Sometimes we can't always blame the parents, because sometimes parents are at work. Look at how he had to be at the thing for 15 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're at work all day and you're working. And I met one of the Kia boys' mother since I've been an Uber driver. Let me say this. I met one of the Kia boys. Well, she's a Kia girl, but her boyfriend was a Kia boy. When a boy 17-year-old jumped out the Kia and started shooting at the police.
Mm.
So he was a friend of that boy. She was like, no idea that her daughter was involved in this. Every time she get home, by the time she get home from work, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Her daughter's at home when she gets home. So until her daughter got arrested, you know what I'm saying? She thinking, dang, my daughter don't, made sure her sisters and brothers are in the bed. She doing everything like that. She had no idea she was a Kia girl. You know what I'm saying?
BBC, let me say this. By the time I was raising my daughter, my two sons was already old enough where they were grown and living on their own, right?
Mm-hmm,
So me and my daughter she grew like an only child.
mm-hmm,
I had 2 to 3 jobs at the time that my daughter was growing with me as a teenager before I moved to Miami. And I must tell you that I set I set things a certain way as a parent that my daughter is not at home by herself while I'm at work for any duration of time by herself. She was either at band practice from this time to this time after school, and I was picking her up from band practice after work because I had 2 jobs, one in the day and one in the evening. So I've
mm-hmm.
always made sure that she was never at home by herself or had that much time to where she was raising herself at home while I was out working.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Every parent don't have that option. You know what I'm saying? Your option, so you
I was a single mom living down on St. Clair in an apartment full of rats and roaches. But my daughter lived like a ghetto queen.
I get
My
it.
daughter never had to take the bus or Uber or anything, because there's a certain standard that I have for my child, even though I'm in a dangerous environment. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So
And
I enrolled her in after school activities, which means that right after school, she's not going to be coming home and sitting home for hours while I'm at work.
right,
She's involved in some type of school activity from this time to this time. That gives
right.
me time to do
And this
my extra shift, or go do my other my side job, and then come pick her up after practice and we
right.
go home together.
You're putting yourself in a position that was your upbringing. And think we had different upbringings with our parents. But I used to have to leave my daughter home alone sometimes because I did not have anybody. So this lady has 4 children. You know what I'm saying? She has
I'm
four.
not saying leave. I'm not saying if you don't have a babysitter. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is because I knew I was a single parent, because I knew the neighborhood that I lived in, because I knew the type of young lady I was trying to raise, and I saw that she was growing in a way where a lot of boys was attracted to her, and I didn't want her to be a teenage mom or get mixed up in any kind of thing. I structured, even though we lived in a bad neighborhood, I structured her life in a way where I knew that she was always somewhere where she was not able to like
This
get
lady
into
don't live
certain
in a
things.
good neighborhood. She live in a nice neighborhood, and she works 15 hours a day. She's a nurse. You know what I'm saying? And her thing was she had no idea that her daughter was a Kia girl. You know,
Right.
Wow.
and to find out, literally getting called at her job. This is what she told me. She was like, I got called at work on a day that I had to work a double shift. Mind you, she said she worked 15 hours. To that her daughter had been arrested.
Mm.
And,
Wow.
and once they went through court and everything, the boy testified. The boy that stole the car, did all the everything, testified against her and said it was the daughter's idea. And now her daughter is in jail.
Mm.
The boy, his mother, they got him a lawyer. He didn't go to jail, but the 17-year-old boy, he went to jail because he shot at the police. You know,
Right.
Wow.
so it's like sometimes, like, you can be the best parent, you can do all that you can do, and you can, you know, be trying to make sure your kids have this and that and the other. But sometimes stuff happens as it happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a hard situation to be in when people be like, oh, okay, well, they're 17, they're this and that and the other. It's like I mean,
And
at
a
some
BBC, I don't remember what school shooting it was, but I recently heard about the sentencing of these parents. They actually sentenced the mother and father to do prison time for the school shooting that their child did.
Well, they got found guilty. The sentencing hasn't come down yet. We talked about
Right.
that
You
last
know
week.
which case I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yep, yeah. The
Okay.
Crumbly family. Yep,
So now
absolutely.
they're making the parents responsible.
right, but it was their weapon though, right?
They
No,
bought the gun for the
what
kid.
some states are saying is that you have to, as a parent, whatever you have to do to have more control over your children and what they're doing. So these two parents are now being charged for their child going to a school and shooting up a school,
Mhm.
But
But
they both
they also neglected
and
all the signs of
they're
him
going to
having mental
serve
illness.
jail time for it.
But they also neglected the signs of his mental illness. He actually asked his parents for help. The school
Exactly.
called and everything. So that's
Some parents aren't paying attention. Some parents are so tired from working so much, they don't even have time to keep up with certain things with their child.
right.
or they don't want to believe it. They don't. When children show certain signs very young, and a lot of people, and I've even had that done to me, will ignore the facts or ignore the signs or say, "Oh, ain't nothing wrong with her. She just acting
Mhm.
crazy," or or whatever,
Yeah.
like brush things up.
One of the biggest signs is you haven't been in your teenager's room in over a year. You have not gotten past your teenager's room door in over a year. Why is it that you're not going into your teenager's room and seeing what they have in there?
Right.
Yeah,
Why is it that you don't take time sometimes to look through their laptop, get their password and look through their laptop to see what they're doing? Take their cell phone sometimes and see what's going on. Like,
no, it's true. It's true.
So
That is definitely
so
true.
let's so about this story, a lot of people are saying like why don't they have a no chase law in Ohio and they shouldn't have it. There's only literally there is only four one, two, three. There's only four states that have a no chase law. Okay. California, which restricts pursuits to chases involving serious offenses. Massachusetts generally prohibits high speed chases. Oregon implements restrictive pursuit policies. And Washington requires supervisory approval for pursuits. Now, with Ohio being in that regards,
I knew
Ohio's
Florida
chase
wasn't
law.
one of them.
No, so yeah, so in Ohio's chase law is pursuits at high speeds are justified only when the individual officer knows or has reasonable grounds to believe the person being pursued has committed or attempted to commit a serious felony, which in this case was a serious felony. Like my hearts and my prayers and my thoughts and my condolences go out to the Wall family, but there is no case against the Euclid police for chasing this kid because the laws are implemented where they are allowed to chase a suspect if it is a serious crime or they think that it's committed a felony, and that kid
And they
did
are armed and dangerous.
exactly. So that's going to be hard to prove in a court of law where Euclid is going to be responsible for that. This kid, I get what you're saying, Jahtamarie, about the frontal lobe. I get that. I know it's not fully developed until you're 25, but there's some things us growing up as kids when we were this age wouldn't dare to phantom taking somebody's car and going on a high-speed chase. We just didn't do that growing up. We had a healthy fear of our parents and the repercussions of us fucking up.
Well, my
These kids nowadays don't have that healthy fear because so many parents. Hold on one
there
second.
is
Hold
a
on.
demonic spiritual shift
It
in
is.
our universe,
It
and
is.
that's why these things are happening.
And that's true. But what I'm saying is, so many parents are wanting to be the child's friends, right? And they're doing certain things where the child sees them do certain things, like going up to the school and cussing out a principal or cussing out a teacher, and then they wonder why their kid is doing the same damn thing. We need to instill the village aspect of raising these kids again. That village aspect went away. Me and a teacher was actually talking about
I
that
don't
today.
think they're gonna bring it back.
But they need to. That's what I'm saying. We need to get back to, if you do something down the street, you know, Mama Terry go tap that ass because she's seen it, and then you getting your ass tapped when you get home. We need to start and not making these kids fear us. I'm not saying that, but have a healthy fear of the consequences and repercussions of their actions, regardless of.
Okay, so you want to bring back it takes a community to raise a child. You want to bring that concept back.
If we don't, it's going to keep going the way it's going now.
Let's look, for example, say for instance, you're in a community that's a whole different race than you, and you're the only race that's in that community, and your child is supposedly accused by the community or by your neighbor of doing this and that, and they decide that they're going to reprimand your child for you, like you said, because it take a village. And then when that child come home, that child tell you that Miss So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so down the street.
But that's not how.
How do you work that out?
But that's not how it used to happen back in the day. You see what you doing is twisting up what we talking about.
I'm not twisting it. You said it takes a village to raise a child.
But you got to remember.
I'm just putting you in a village and giving you an example of where this village could be and where this child could be. And if you want to go back to that, there's things that can happen to your child that you're not gonna like.
I get that, but you're not hearing the point. But you're not hearing the point.
BBC, you get what I'm saying, though.
No, the old village, you knew what was going on.
Teachers and you know what I'm saying, your neighbors and parents. It's not gonna how we grew up. You know what I'm saying? It's like if
I can't trust my neighbor and I see that my neighbor is not being responsible for their own child, why would I allow them to want to raise?
That's where you're missing the point at. When our parents raised us in that village, they trusted the neighbor, is what I'm saying. So if you don't trust the neighbor, no, the neighbor can't do nothing. The only thing the neighbor can
trusted the neighbor too much.
But no,
and years later you find out that the neighbor was doing things to those kids that they wasn't supposed to be doing because they were too trusting with the neighbors.
Bad people. We're talking about how our neighbors, like my neighbor upstairs, downstairs, and around the corner, my mother trusted them. They watched us. They, I trusted them more than I trusted my own mother.
And
so
our neighbors were perverts.
We're not talking about the perverts. We're talking about the ones our parents trusted. We're talking about the ones our parents trusted that knew wasn't perverts. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about these neighbors nowadays. I'm talking about how we were raised with the village. Like
I wasn't raised like that though, so I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. But like BBC said, she trusted her neighbors, and her parents didn't trust the neighbors.
Okay.
And I'm 51 years old. I come from the old school like you, and my mother didn't trust the neighbors. Maybe it's because it was 5 girls and she didn't want her girls around other people.
Stuff that you went over their house, right?
No, we were not allowed to go over anybody's house.
Oh, I thought y'all used to go over your auntie's house or whatever.
That's my auntie. That's my family member. That's not the neighbors.
No, but I'm saying that still was a village, like your aunties and them. Anyway, the point is, we need to because I think co-parenting, school teachers are your co-parent. Your kids are with teachers 8 hours of a day. Yep. When a parent go and disrespect the teacher and don't want to hear what the teacher has to say, don't want the teacher to call a phone, that's opening up space for the children.
But you see what's going on. What he's saying about going back to the village, it's hard to go back to that when we know the things that we know now about teachers, pastors, and certain things that you cannot trust your children with the village like you used to.
Yeah, it's still some good people. We're good people. I feel like we're a village. I will trust you with my daughter before I trust my own sister with my daughter. I will trust you with my daughter because
that's what I'm talking about.
Or of kids. You know what I'm saying? I will trust you with making sure the daughter is safe. You're my village. And so that's what he's saying. He's saying the people know are good people. Like my sister, I know I can't trust her. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust her husband, so I don't trust her or whatever like that. You, I know how you are about girls. I know how you are about kids, and I know you will kill somebody for mine. So boom, and
Exactly.
you're a part of my village.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking. That's my point with BBC.
Exactly.
Saying, you know, yeah, there are a lot of bad people, but there are people that I know in my spirit, and my heart, and my soul that I will trust. You know what I'm saying? If I die tomorrow, please make sure that my daughter is okay. And that's
Absolutely.
so right now. So I
Absolutely.
think people with teachers or whatever like that, regardless of the fact they're bad teachers, but there are teachers that are really love their job. They love the kids. They want to do right by the kids. And
Yep.
teachers, parents dog the hell out of kids don't say Mr. and Mrs. no more. You know what I'm saying? They don't even say Mr. and Mrs. They don't say good morning when they walk in. They fight in the teachers. Teachers getting fired for telling kids that they don't identify. And parents are really like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, you see that video where the lady said her teacher took her daughter's phone and the mother said, keep it, because she knew she wasn't supposed to have it. They supposed to turn it in. She said, you help me with my daughter. If
Yep.
she has her phone, she can't get it back until you give it back to her.
Absolutely.
And she was like, and the teacher was like, oh, she was so shocked because she thought the lady was gonna cuss her out. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's saying is we need to come together and find the people that really can be our tribe. Like, this is my tribe,
Yes.
my co-parent. She your teacher. If she said sit down and shut your mouth, you better sit down and shut your mouth, or we gonna jump you. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. That's the kind of
If children are allowed to behave towards their parents in the home a certain way and not have respect for them, they're definitely not going to go to school and have respect for a teacher. And if you have the type of parent that no matter how bad that child is, that parent is always taking up for that child and coddling
Yeah.
that
yeah.
child is just going to get worse and worse and
And
worse.
that's what I was saying
um
about
um
these parents.
I teach my children. I said if you're wrong, if you're at school and you do something and I have to get a phone call and come up here and I find out that you're wrong about what happened, like you're
Mhm.
lying to me, or it's going to be some problems. And I
Yeah.
have been called because my daughter want to be on her phone in class, and she know the rules, and she was told that she would get her phone taken away if she get caught with it in class. Okay, so I get a phone call and I said to them, I said, well, keep the phone in the office until after school. I will come and pick it up myself
Mhm.
because she knows that she's not supposed to be on the phone in her class.
And that's what we talking about. Absolutely.
I
All
think
right,
it's
let's keep it moving. Miss BBC, what's the topic you want to talk about?
topic I want to talk about is um dating, well, breaking up, but still um dating in the same what was my word?
The
What I
same
was
dating pool.
no, breaking up with somebody, but
I got you. But keeping the same patterns.
keeping the same dating pattern. So
Oh, that's not gonna work. I learned that the hard way.
yeah, because a lot of people, and it drives me crazy because I was just in a situation with a couple or a female, and and this is why I wanted to talk about this. And then I seen that video that I sent you, and I was like, this is so real because me and her have been, you know, close for a long time, and she's dating this guy, and the guy is just like every other guy she dates or whatever. And she keeps like, and so, you know, this is my boo. I love her, but it's like I'm your shoulder, but I'm not gonna not tell you that, okay, you're dating the same guy. And it's always like, oh, I love me a thug, I love me a thug, and everything like that. Yeah, you can love a thug, but this is you keep ending up in these situations
So,
that are bad.
not to cut you off, I'm gonna play the video so we at least have audio. I couldn't find the video on YouTube either, but at least to have the audio for it. All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Break up with the person, but don't break up with the pattern. Eventually, you'll end up entertaining the exact same person, just with a different name. Same narcissist, different name. Same manipulator, different name. In fact, oftentimes what we label as we just clicked is really they just fit. They just fit in a pattern that existed before their arrival. I'm simply attempting to propose this question. Could the lack of pattern awareness be the role that we're playing in our own suffering? The genesis of change is the awareness and reconstruction of patterns. Changing patterns can lower the propensity of being deceived. Like I had a prayer life pattern before the offer was ever. I'm going through warfare. Okay, I hear you, but hear me. Could it be you're not under attack, you're under a pattern? Because oftentimes the shadow of a problem is a pattern. Like overthinking problem, misuse of creativity pattern, because that's what overthinking is. It's a misuse of your creative self. Look how creative you are, creating hurtful scenarios in your head and preparing for it. Substance abuse problem, a pattern of taking temporary and false escapes. What makes our problems buff is the ignorance of a pattern. Maybe you're not under attack, you're under a pattern. When you break up with the person, but don't break up with the pattern,
so like I wanted to play that audio so at least we can have context on what what we were talking about.
Yeah.
That video was that message was powerful. You know what I'm saying? Because it made
that is my season right now that I'm going through right now.
Mm-hmm. Because if we break up with a person like that it fits, right? It just fits that pattern. So we're not breaking up with the person. We got to break up with the pattern.
Don't mean to cut you, but you know what I'm learning? I actually learned what he was saying. I learned that that's what my problem was. I was using the same pattern, and I ended up with a different narcissist in a different pair of shoes, but I'm using the same pattern.
Same pattern, different name.
Huh?
Yeah, same pattern, different name.
And what I did was when I started to switch my pattern, but let me tell you the key to switching my pattern. When I started building my self-awareness and my self-esteem and understanding my worth, the more that you understand your worth, the more you will switch your pattern to a different pattern of dating. The older that you get and the wiser that you get about the games that are being played when it comes to dating and relationships, you will start to break out of that pattern and begin a new pattern. And I'm trying the new pattern, but guess what I'm learning? The new pattern is it's to the point where I'm saying to myself, there's no compatibility for me out here. It's like, nope, you're not it. Nope, you're not it. Nope. It only take me like maybe one conversation on the phone with them or meeting them for the first time in person, and it's like I can pick up on it right away that this is not the right person because I'm using a different angle. And one of my main angles that I use is I refrain from sexual activity during dating. That was one of my main bad patterns, because what the partners I was choosing would do, they would use sexuality to attach themselves to me before we even got to know each other. That's the key. That's the game.
Yeah, no.
Once they attach themselves to you, you now have a trauma bond with that person, and you don't even really know them. So what I'm doing now is removing the sexual aspect of the dating and saying, okay, within this period of time, I'm not focusing on sex. It could be obvious that you're attracted to me and I'm attracted to you, but I need to open this book and see what's in it. I need to see the introduction. I need to read through it and really get to know this book before I feel comfortable enough to open myself up.
Or pattern for yourself. It's like choosing the same person.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. When you switch your pattern, your idea of the ideal person for you will also change.
Yeah, but some people
concept,
you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying some people don't know their worth. Some people have tapped into it yet. So they keep dating the same pattern. I mean, people older than you know what I'm saying? Like, I think this lady is not, this one lady that I'm dealing with now, this other situation, she's not young. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like in that same vibe, people,
It's the whole saying, doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
right? It's insanity. So the pattern is crazy because I feel like a lot of us do it in different situations, like he said. You know what I'm saying? Drugs or creativity or anything like that. With my creativity, I have noticed that I go in the same patterns or whatever like that. Of choosing, waiting on people, choosing people, or saying, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna get this person to do this, and then I gotta wait on that person. Although it's my creativity, it's my vibe, but I gotta wait until that person gets that part done because I put them in that position or whatever like that. Instead of saying, you know what, that ain't working out, move on. But we
Wow.
do in hopes of,
Well,
you
let me
know,
ask you a question. Do you think that a person have gotten so used to their toxic pattern that they have become addicted to it, and they don't it's like the devil I know versus the devil I don't know. Like I'm gonna be comfortable here because I know this devil versus trying to learn something new.
we do that even with our family members. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And I know I have been in situations where I see people and you hear people say it. Well, this is who I am and I ain't changing. This
Exactly.
I'm gonna be who I am until I die. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're a miserable person and you hurt people and you do all this and you want to be this person. And
Well, this is what I say. As long as you're going to be like that and you have no intentions of elevating or changing or doing better for your life, then you stay far from me.
yeah, I think that a lot of people they break up with the people or they whatever, you know what I'm saying? They don't break up with the pattern. And it's like now being able to
That's a
visually,
very good point.
yeah, it's to see it and see people go through this. Sometimes it's just like I'm seeing it in front of me. It's like, and I'm like, oh wow, and that's how I felt about her. And I told her that, and she was
I've been
devastated.
doing the same thing for years. And
And
I just figured it out at 51.
me and this girl would stop talking because she felt like I'm disrespectful to her. But I wasn't. I was honestly being like, look at what's happening. You're worth so
She's
much.
in her comfort zone. That's her comfort zone.
Yeah, yeah. And I just felt like it was for me, it was a message for myself as far as I know my creativity. It was a message. I just wanted to share that message because I think a lot of people don't even know that they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And even the people that even know their worth, they still don't know. Like, why I keep getting the same guy? Why I keep getting in the same situation? Because they don't know that even though they broke up with that person, they didn't break up with the pattern. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We click. It was just the comfortability of
Right.
that.
And then you hear women say, there are no good men out there. I can't find a good man. I can't find this. And maybe it's your pattern.
Yeah,
Maybe it's the places that you go or don't go to meet the right person or the person that's of your compatibility. Maybe you're choosing what you like instead of what you need.
yeah, yeah. I find that a lot of and men too. They
Yeah,
do it.
men do it too. Yes, men do it too.
And
Absolutely.
I think that
Absolutely.
that's the
Because
one thing
they're more sexual driven. So it's more of a physical thing for them.
yeah, I don't even think it's about physical either. I don't think it's about physical either. I think that it's a comfortability of, you know what I'm saying, that felt comfortable. Me and this person click. Somebody can say the same thing. Like, it's like, oh, if I'm saying, oh, she wholesome, she cook, she do this or whatever like that, and they feel like, oh, that person does that. That's what I like in a woman, but not focusing on that this person is probably beat down your door type bitch. You know what I'm saying? Cut up your tires.
Bust your windows out your car.
Yeah. Not paying
Crazy
attention.
baby mama.
Yeah. Oh, this person remind me, not realizing that their mama was crazy as hell. You know, stuff like that. So it's like,
He didn't pay attention when he went to go visit the family.
and those vibes. And I find like people always think that it's about physical sometimes, and sometimes with guys, it's not always about physical.
Sean is awfully quiet over there. He ain't saying
Shaking his head and stuff like that. He vibing.
not saying a word.
It's real. You know what I'm saying? It's real. And I see a lot, and I talk, I got a lot of guy friends. I mean, we're really close, and we share, they share stuff with me or whatever. Like, man, I just like her, ain't she so cute or whatever like that. As soon as I meet her, I know she the other girl, just with a different name. You know,
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Most of the time, it's not physical; it's all comfortability, where you get so used to dealing with crazy. And I just had to take a look, and and it's funny because like I've talked to my best friends, like we both cancers or whatever. I don't know why, but like we're attracted to crazy. I had to get out of that being attracted to crazy. I was like, I can't do any more crazy anymore because it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? I've had so much crazy in my life, but you get used to it, and it's like, oh, crazy got that good, that good fire, but.
So how do you deal with the woman that you meet that is the opposite of crazy? Is it hard to deal with the woman like that when you've been so used to crazy?
That's not crazy?
Yeah.
No.
How do you handle a woman that you meet that's the opposite of your crazy?
No, it's refreshing not to deal with crazy. Like my girlfriend now is not crazy. It is so refreshing to not have crazy. To not have that jealousy tendencies where they are secure in knowing that I can go and be wherever and they ain't got to worry about me doing nothing stupid because that's not me. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got to worry about that. It's refreshing not to have that crazy in my life. It's joy.
You probably didn't even realize that it could be refreshing because you thought crazy was for you.
Was the normal.
Yeah.
Crazy became the normal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely correct. Yeah. Until I got
rid
of that.
And that is the main problem with a lot of us. Our crazy become the normal. So when we meet somebody that is treating us the opposite, like some of us women, when we meet a man that's treating us the opposite of all that narcissistic toxicity that we're so used to, it's like, oh, he's soft, he's weak, he's he's a simp. He's he's actually treating you like a gentleman, like how Queen is supposed to be treated. He's actually a king conscious man who is respecting you.
No, for like it is so like I love that. Like I love gentleness, like certain stuff that in dealing with Caribbean men, like there are different levels, but dealing with you know what I'm saying? So, but dealing with American men, some American men in this, like, I'm not used to some of the stuff that go on. Like, I'm like, I never been disrespected so much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's such a vibes, and like, I always knew, like, I like a certain type of person, but I've never dated the same type of person. But gentleness is like, that is my number one, like, you have to be gentle with me. If I see anything, and I just wanted to get that message out there, period, because I know what it's like to be in a pattern dating status. I know what it's like to be in a creativity pattern status. Like, and we really, when you're in a pattern status, you stunt your growth on every level. You know what I'm saying? And I think that
because you don't give yourself a chance to think outside the box.
Yeah, or to
explore other options.
And I find that people, everybody knows that I hate when I hear a person, or especially a woman, say, there are no good men out there. I ain't gonna never date again.
I cannot stand to hear that.
I don't like that. Don't speak curses because I ain't gonna never trust, like, no.
And these are the people that have never even got on a plane before in their lives. These are people that have never left their neighborhoods. They've never gone anywhere or experienced anything, but there's no good men out there.
Hey, in the circle, you know what I'm saying? It's like being in a club, you know what I'm saying? Every like
You go to the same club every week and you expect to meet something different.
yeah. So that's a message that I definitely wanted to get out there. I really want people to understand
That
that.
was a good one, because that's what I'm experiencing. That was a good one.
Yeah, break that different. It's so important.
Yep. All right, it is that time. Listen, Jahtamarie, thank you so much for coming to the couch. Once again, give out your social media so everybody can find you.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Marie's Message 411 TV, that's on YouTube. On Instagram, Jahtamarie 6, TikTok, Jahtamarie 6, and on Facebook, it's Anne Marie Vernon. And it was my pleasure to be a part of your podcast this evening. It was wonderful.
Nice.
It was wonderful. I'd love to do this with you guys again.
Nice. Yeah, we'll definitely have you back on. Definitely can make that happen.
Yeah.
All right. And as you know, Couchers, it is that time. Unfortunately, little mama not here to give me my echo, but it is time for that close. Something you can ponder on until the next time you see us live on YouTube and Facebook under Just Therapy, the podcast, or next day on Spotify. So tonight's close, something you can ponder on is this.
Right.
All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. I'm going to say that one more time. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. One of y'all want to break that down in your own words, and we'll get up out of here.
Go ahead, Jata.
Well, to have courage to pursue, that means that you have to build your self-esteem. You have to build yourself up to become stronger. And then what you do is you focus on what that is that you're trying to achieve. And you don't let anything or anyone distract you. If you come into a what do you call it? A stumbling block as you go along your journey to fulfill that dream, you have to have the mindset that quitting is not an option, and I have to find a way to work around, go through this obstacle in order to get to my destiny.
Hey, I like it. I like it. Hey, big shout out to my old co-host, young sis, Miss KT, just chimed in. Thanks for chiming in, sis. I appreciate you. You already know you always get flowers every day of the week. So just wanted to shout her out real quick before we get out of here. Miss BBC, what you got for us before we go?
Everybody have a beautiful, amazing night. Even if nobody told you today, I love you, I believe in you, and I want you to win.
Hey, so listen, enjoy Holy Week. Don't forget Resurrection Sunday is coming up upon us. So get your prayer on, get in the good book, get some word in. I'm telling you, it pays dividends. And as always, we'll see you next week, God willing. But if one thing you never get back is time, and we got to spending your time with us on the couch. All right, y'all. See y'all next week, God willing. Peace out.
MICAH Beats activated.
Welcome to Just Therapy, where we talk about life with a comedy twist. With your hosts, comedian Sean Boyd, Antonio Ferguson, and Miss KT. We talk about a whole bunch of shit from politics to people actually taking shits. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the therapy session. Man, this be dope. Make a motherfucker want to rap. I can't rap, man. Hold on, here we go. I can't rap. I really can't. But come sit down on the couch with us. Man, I can't rap. Come to the couch. Enjoy the show. Let's go.